Here is the entrance ticket for Substitution Day. If these systems look familiar, that's because they're the same ones as you did for the entrance ticket for graphing. So what we're going to do is just go over these real quick and make sure you got the answers right and you can see some more examples. So the first thing you want to do is list the 3 steps to solving a system by using substitution, and that's literally just from your notes. I'm going to paraphrase and kind of simplify it a little bit. But step 1 is to solve one equation for x or y. Okay, so you pick one and solve for x or y. Then step 2 is to then plug in, or the correct mathematical word, substitute that expression into the other equation and solve. Because when you substitute that expression in, you should get down to one variable, and when you have one variable and one equation, you can solve it. Then once you've solved that, your third step is to then plug in, or again, substitute that known value back into the first equation and solve. So you already know one variable. By substituting that back into the first equation that you worked with, then you can find the remaining variable. So this one I put first because it's a little bit easier, because if you notice, dun, 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 one of these is already solved for x or y. Here, this is already y equals. So we're already done with step 1, solve one of the equations for x or y. So what we do is we take everything here, which is equal to y, and we substitute it in for that y in the other equation, okay? So this y will be replaced by everything in this box. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and write this off to the side here, x minus 4, and then instead of y, I have to put all of this, parenthesis, 1/4 x plus 3, close the parenthesis because that's everything from the box, and then continue equals 8. Okay, so from here, I'm just solving using don't call me after midnight method. So don't stands for distribute, so we distribute first. Make sure you take all of the -4 and distribute it. So I'm going to bring this down x, and then -4 times 1/4 x is -1x, and then we have x times, -4 times 3 is -12 equals 8. So then notice here, I have a positive 1x minus x. Well, that, if we combine like terms, is 0. Uh-oh, that means my variable went away and I have -12 equals 8. Remember, that is false. Since that's false, if the variable goes away and it's false, there's no solution. If the variable goes away and it's true, then there's infinitely many. So here we have no solution, which should be exactly what you got last time. Okay, so kind of anticlimactic because there wasn't a whole lot left to do. Now, on this one, neither one is x or y equals. If I look at the second one, we have coefficients of 1 and -1. And if I just add this y over to this side, I'm going to get x equals. So that's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to do for my step 1, where it says solve for one equation for x and y. I'm going to take this one and solve for x. So I'm going to add y both sides. That goes away. We get x is equal to, and then again, Here, those are not like terms, so don't add those together. So I can either write -1 plus y or positive y minus 1. I'm going to do just like remember, but again, you can write it the other way. Okay, great. So now I have that, and I want to do step 2, which is to take this and substitute it into the other equation, which is this one. So now, don't plug it in for y because it's x equals. So we're going to take this, and that's going to go in for x. So this is equal to 3, and then everything in the square will replace x. So parenthesis, -1 plus y, close it, and then continue. Plus 2y equals -8. Oof, that was close. Okay, so again, we are still following don't call me after midnight rules. So first thing I'm going to do is distribute that 3. Sorry, I shouldn't have put an equal sign there. So 3 times -1 is -3. 3 times y is positive 3y. And then continue. Okay, so that's the D from Don't Call Me After Midnight. Then the next step is call, which would be combine like terms. Now, when you combine like terms, you don't cross the equal sign. So these are on the same side. And if I look here, I have 2y and a 3y, and those combine to make 5y. So I'm just going to bring that down because there's nothing to combine it with. Remember that the positive 5y equals -8. Okay, then we'd move variables to one side, but that's already done. So now we're just down to a 2-step equation. So for our 2-step equation, I'm going to first add a constant away, so plus 3 plus 3. Be careful because -8 plus 3 is -5. Divide both sides by 5. Y is equal to -1. Okay, great. Now, if you're like me, you're like, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done. But actually, we're not done because step 3 is to plug this or substitute this back into the first equation and solve. Because if there's 2 variables, we better have 2 answers. So here, I already have x equals -1 plus y. Well, let's take this and plug it back in to that y. So now I have x is equal to -1 plus -1. Right? Because it was plus and then a negative there. Well, that is -2. Okay, so then we want to write our answer as a coordinate point. X always goes first. And there you have it.